Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Back with the videos, getting stuck back into them, pretty much daily shaves from here on, hopefully, fingers crossed. Going straight back to Declaration Grooming After the Rain. Milksteak base, love the labels, I actually really enjoy the scent. Doesn't smell like I thought it would, but I do enjoy it. It's almost a sort of citrusy, woodsy, leathery, sort of, I'm not quite sure what the scent really is, I haven't read up on it, but it doesn't smell like I thought it was going to smell. Now, I did lather or load from the tub yesterday, and I'm going to do the exact same again today. What I will be doing though is switching over to a synthetic. The synthetic for today is my Envy Shaves Pasteur 2017 brush. As you can see there, Nathan Clark makes these brushes, does an awesome job. I think the knot in this one is a black wolf knot, which is pretty much just a version of a black and white synthetic, tuxedo, you name it. But it's very soft, it's almost like a fan type hybrid, and it works very, very well. Very comfortable little handle to hold, and it's almost like a sort of flame sort of idea. So I'm going to shake pretty much all the moisture out of this brush, and I'm going to load it pretty dry. I'm going to add a little bit, I'm just going to dip the tips as I go just to get a good load into the brush. So here we go. I was going to load this off camera, but just give it another little dip. I'm not really sure how much to load into the brush to get this soap to work. I've bowl lathered it with a natural hair brush, I've face lathered it with a natural hair brush, and I've had two pretty mediocre lathers. It's not the easiest soap to work with. Now with a synthetic, I would like to think that I can nail this as what it's meant to be. Now I think it's supposed to be low structured. The lather itself, it won't be a voluminous lather. But let's just see what I can do with it using a synthetic. I'm going to load this pretty heavy, probably a bad idea, who knows. At least I know I'll have enough soap to add a bit more water to it. Right, so I'm going to leave it at that. That was a pretty long load. So there is the load in the brush. Hopefully there's enough. Now, I have been of late soaking the soaps prior to using them, but this is quite a soft soap, so I don't feel the need to do that. So I'm just going to scoop all the excess, what there is. There's not a lot in there, just a little bit, that's it. And I'm going to rinse the soap out and set it to the side to dry, and then start tackling this lather again. Hopefully, I am more confident with the synthetic. I do generally make a better lather with a synthetic, no doubt about it. They work better than natural hair brushes, hands down. Yeah, it's a nice scent. It's not a horrible scent by any means. It just doesn't smell like I thought it would. I was expecting dirty, sort of dark, damp, earthy type scent. That was what I was expecting from After the Rain. You know, it rained on the wet ground, but I don't really get that from it. So I am going to try my lather technique with this, which is to paint water in until it goes translucent and then spray the brush, and hopefully get the results that this soap's supposed to give me. So that is super pasty. You can see how pasty it is in the brush. So I'm going to start dipping the tips now and painting it in. Now this lather method that I use has worked with every single soap with a synthetic brush. Doesn't work so well with natural hair brushes, but with a synthetic, every single time it's worked with every single soap. So hopefully it should work with this. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. I'll be honest, I was expecting a bit of hate from people watching the channel, watching me probably butcher the lather and make an arse of it and then say it's not really that great, but it's not if it's not that easy to work with. But I didn't. I actually got more people saying that they have similar sort of issues with Milksteak. Which is surprising. I think it's difficult because you watch, a lot of people say they don't watch, you know, they want to wait until they use it. I don't, I just watch people use it. I'm still going to give you my feedback on it and what I think. I watched Rudd Shaves use this and he loved it. He thought it was the best thing since sliced bread when he first used it. Gave it a 100 score out of 100. So I thought, this stuff must be the Mutt's nuts. But then again, it gives Katie's Bubbles a very, very high rating. Katie's Bubbles, a very high rating for their soaps. And I just find them average. I think they're good soaps. I think they're pretty good scents. Right, I see what they mean. I thought I'd be dipping this brush for ages. But I'm painting here. And it's not getting much thicker. Now that was a reasonably big load, I believe, that I put into this knot. And normally by this point I would have a lot of lather seeping out the sides of the brush, and I don't, which was suggesting to me that it's definitely not going to be a voluminous lather. It's going to be a low structure, high density lather. Right, I'm going to dip it once more. So I think, I don't know, I don't want to overhydrate it again. But I think it might just need one more dip. One thing I'm liking about it, it's not messy. I'm not flicking lather everywhere, it's not falling off the sides of the brush. I'm going to dip this once more and then I'm going to spray the brush and hopefully watch the magic happen. That's the theory anyway. But that's certainly thickened up, so I'm going to dip it once more and now spray it. I've got less than 24 hours growth. I just felt the need, given that I haven't shaved for 2 weeks, to have another shave. Alright, already I can tell that this is far superior to the lathers I've been getting from the natural hairbrush. Far superior. I can see how dense that is already. But it needs water, so I'm going to drip some water in. I could shave with it there, but I'm not going to because it needs more water. You can see the little peaks on there, still very dry. Just going to drip some more water in the brush. This is, in my mind, what I was expecting from this soap. Needs more water. Low structure my ass. Holy shit. Just goes to show you the difference in a synthetic to a natural hairbrush. Probably more so when you're not very good with a natural hairbrush like me. I can make a great lather with one, but I can't make anything like that with it. Holy shit. That is a pretty incredible lather. Wow. I know it'd take a while to get there. I obviously overloaded the brush far too much. It's certainly not low structure. That's pretty voluminous, in my opinion. Pretty impressed. Let's see how it shaves. The carved Christopher Bradley razor, B-plate, same blade as yesterday. The Gillette Ruby, and here we go. Very slick. How's that residual slickness? Left quite a bit of soap on there. Yeah, excellent. Really is good. Far better shave when you get a good lather. But I will say, for me personally, it's obviously only really built for synthetics. If you're getting a great lather like that from a natural hairbrush, you're a better man than me or woman. Look at that. So so far, just based on the lather that I'm getting now from this brush, it's definitely a top tier soap. It's very, very good. Super slick, very dense, very protective. So far, no real issues. In fact, none at all. Got to say, is that a weeper there? Sure is. One weeper down there. Very, very good soap. I wouldn't say the residual slickness is as good as the Swedish Witch, mainly because it feels similar again, where the slickness doesn't feel like it's attached to my skin, it feels like it's floating on top. It's still very slick, but the other great thing with the Swedish Witch, Grooming, the Secret Artisan face fat, they're all vegetal based, and I think they're all vegan as well. I don't know what happened there. It just stopped recording. Anyway, Declaration Grooming after the rain. It's quality. It really is. Really exceptional soap. Works very well. The post shave I know already from my previous use, so it's excellent whether it was a great lather or not. It's a tremendous post shave. yeah, there's not much more I can say about it really. It's still not my number one. I still find Swedish Witch and a couple of others in front of it, mainly based on the fact that it is quite difficult to lather unless you use a synthetic for me. This is my Envy Shave Pasteurs 2017 brush. I can't believe it's 2020, 3 years ago this brush was made. Unreal. And the shave was done by the carved Christopher Bradley razor, B-plate with the Gillette Ruby. I've got a couple of little weepers here and there, just tiny ones, but other than that, I'm pretty close to BBS shave. And I know the post shave is going to be exceptional. So, Declaration Grooming, Milksteak formula, definitely a big thumbs up from me if you use a synthetic. If you're using a natural hair brush like me, I did it with a bowl lather and a face lather and got pretty average results from the lather. Through my own lathering technique, it wasn't so much the soap I guess, but a soap should be able to pick it up and use it straight away and get a great result from it, like I do with most soaps. This one doesn't work like that for me. With a synthetic it obviously does, and I'll probably stick to synthetics when I use this soap in the future. With that being said, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.